Hardship is not uncommon for humanity. In fact, I'm willing to bet my life there isn't a single person on Earth who has been forced to overcome the cruelty of this world. When faced with these challenges, we are given two distinct choices: to face these hardships and grow and overcome them, or to turn our backs to them and live a life where they constantly hang over us, breathing down the back of our necks like a guillotine made of cold, unforgiving steel. I believe that Act Age is the story of people choosing to overcome these burdens through their passion and blossoming into newer, greater versions of themselves, taking their hardships and igniting them to act as fuel for their growth. And as you watch them burn, you truly appreciate the effort it takes for them to move forward. So please join me as we all take our seats and enjoy the show that is Act Age, When Burdens Blossom. Act Age is the story of Kai Yonagi, a girl who, despite living a struggle-filled life, having to take care of her younger siblings after her father left and her mother passed away, still strives to become an actor, her lifelong dream. When she finally does eventually get a chance to live her dreams, she soon realizes that she'll need much more than her current skills to succeed. Even so, her initial skill set is quite impressive. She is able to pull from her life and experiences in order to create sincere and captivating performances that stun many of her fellow actors. In a way, I think this portrays one of the core themes of Act Age as a manga: the ability to grow and evolve from trauma, using it as a tool to further advance whatever you're passionate about. Throughout the series, we're able to see how Kai pulls from her past to convey emotion, whether it be the sadness she felt after coming home from her mother's funeral or the intense desire she had to protect her siblings. These talents are recognized, and she is quickly able to start building a career for herself as an actress. By using her hardship as fuel, she was able to propel herself to success. And nowhere is this theme of growing from pain more apparent than in The Night on the Galactic Railroad arc. Major spoilers for Act Age coming up. In the Galactic Railroad, we watch as Kai has to navigate an unknown world, theater, as up until now she had only acted on camera and struggles with how to properly convey her emotions to the audience. But more than that, in the Galactic Railroad arc, every character taking part in the play must grapple with the same tragedy: the death of their director, Yujiro Iwao. While the setup of the arc is rather standard, where it truly shines is the ending, as the tragic story of the Galactic Railroad is paired with the somber real-world passing of Yujiro, who doesn't even get to fulfill his final wish of getting to see his final production. Each of our characters reminisces on how Yujiro affected their lives, and how their passion in acting was fueled by him. As much as his passing hurt, it allowed them to push on and fill their performances with an earnestness required to portray the depiction of mourning shown in Galactic Railroad. While this may seem almost cruel of them, it was the outcome that Yujiro had hoped for. You see, he had made it abundantly clear that the Galactic Railroad would be his last production, but he kept the true reason as to why from the cap. The true reason being that he was slowly dying of pancreatic cancer, and would most likely not make it past opening night. The only reason he even shared this information with Kai was because he thought hearing his thoughts on death would help Kai better get into the character of Campanella. Campanella, in the story of the Galactic Railroad, was a boy who jumped into a river to save his friend and ends up drowning instead. A tragic fate that mirrors how Yujiro uses his own death to help bring life to the characters in the show, a show he knows will be his last. It's bittersweet, but as he passes away, he says he's happy, despite still having regrets, knowing that his final piece of work was transcendent because of his ultimate sacrifice, serves as some solace. It's a very battle shonen idea that a character dying can serve as a momentary power boost to the main character, one that you wouldn't think would work very well in the realistic setting of Act Age. But when tied in with the occupation of acting, it makes perfect sense, which is one of the most compelling parts of Act Age, how its premise and themes blend so perfectly to create a harmonious story. The shonen demographic is filled with series that lack realistic depictions of grieving and death. So it's nice to see a series that effectively uses it to fuel the passions and desires of its characters. It's admirable how characters are able to accept and grow through their acceptance and succeed in life. And I think that's something that anybody can take away from this series. So go ahead and go read it now.